Hello everyone, this is Elena. Welcome to this video about teaching literature to kids for the development of language skills in the context of task-based learning and also in a general classroom context. First, let's review task-based learning. In this method, the class revolves around tasks or specific activities that the students have to complete. Some of the main characteristics are: this is student-centered, so the teacher usually steps back and observes or facilitates, but doesn't get involved. This also includes usually real-life scenarios, so that the students are prepared for real-life situations. In this method, we encourage cooperative learning, so students may work in pairs, in groups, so that together they can complete these tasks. And lastly, it is very common to use authentic materials to make the experience more real-life-like. Now, sometimes these materials fall short in terms of overall learning, and we're going to talk about that in the next aspect. So when we work with materials such as a bus schedule, we are developing the referential function of language. This is simple basic vocabulary or dialogues that can be used in limited basic everyday life situations. For example, we can ask where the bus is going, when it is leaving, when it is arriving, how much it costs, but that's it. Then we have the other function, which is the expressive function, that is more implicit. It needs interpretation, it needs imagination, problem solving, conflicts, interaction, and this is where storybooks come in. So for example, in this Chester Raccoon story, we can ask, why do you think he's crying? Why do you think he doesn't want to go to school? Why do you think he wants to stay home? And then we can get tons of answers. We can get, maybe he's sick, maybe he doesn't fit in, maybe he's cold, maybe he's hot, maybe his mom is sick, maybe he's not treated well at school. There are many options, and we could even have a whole class just discussing this topic. So this works for interaction within the students and even with the teacher, but it works specifically for this function of language, for the expressive function of language. Now let's talk about the language skills in general. The most obvious one, reading. We practice reading comprehension, but again, we can practice implicit information just as we can practice explicit information. So we can talk about intentions. Why do you think he did this? What did he mean, or what did she mean by this? Then we can practice reading out loud. We practice rhythm, intonation, stress. Then listening, we listen to the teacher, we listen to the other students tell the story. Speaking, perfect for storybooks. Like I said before, we can interact, we can talk about our opinion, our past experiences related to the story. So speaking is developed a lot. And finally, after being immersed in these worlds, in these stories, the students have the power to write their own stories. And then they can repeat the cycle. They can read the stories to other students. They can listen to their classmates, students, and they can discuss these new stories. Finally, an aspect that we can't ignore when talking about the importance of storybooks is emotional intelligence. With storybooks, students have the opportunity to practice empathy. They can relate to other stories. They can learn about others' feelings and also learn about their own emotions. They can ask themselves, how did this person feel? Why did he react that way? Was that okay? How would I react? Have I been in that situation? They can connect with others and they can connect with themselves. And they can also discuss these situations. And while discussing them, they can create a bond with their classmates. So storybooks are a great opportunity for this. They can grow as human beings, and it's very important because students are not just robots. They are integral beings, and this is an important part of them. And if books can help them achieve that, that's great. Also, in the same note, sometimes storybooks can be a place of comfort for them, and we can offer them that. Now, before we go, let me remind you that yes, storybooks are really useful, but we need to have a purpose for them. We have to plan beforehand what we're going to do and what the objective will be. And now, after watching this video, I hope that you can give yourself and your students the opportunity to learn through storytelling. Thank you.